Hey guys, what's up? Doing the video of Michael Jackson, what really happened to Michael Jackson. This last days of my new videos. Of one video is what happened of Michael Jackson, and the last days of Michael Jackson. This video is what really happened to Michael Jackson. What I believe is what happened to Michael Jackson is that he died of the hands of the Dr. Conrad Murray. On June 25th, 2009, there was a call brought in to say that Michael Jackson suffered a cardiac arrest, and on that 911 call was that the people did say that Harold was the guy, and the guy was 50 years old. They didn't say it was Michael Jackson, which was absurd. You would give the best information you would have. He was 50. Yes, they said he was 50, but they didn't say it was Michael Jackson. And the 911 call wasn't made until hours later. The doctor was out of the room for far longer than 2 minutes. He was on the phone to different callers. He was on the phone to his girlfriends. Why he should have been focuses on Michael Jackson. He's saying that he left the room for 2 minutes and then returned. But we're seeing other things that he was on the call, or the call to his girlfriends for over an hour. And then returned to the room, and then doing CPR with one hand, doing CPR on a bed. You do CPR on a hard surface with two hands, not with one hand. You do not do CPR on a bed. You do CPR on a flat surface. A child would even know what to do. A child would even know how to do CPR with two hands, not with one hand. And that's why Michael Jackson died. He died because 911 wasn't called right away. The doctor was out of the room. You never leave a person on his own with propofol. What the hell is propofol? I will never forget the day Michael Jackson died. What is propofol? Propofol is like a thing that helps you to sleep. He shouldn't give a person propofol in a home sentence. Michael Jackson didn't have the right equipment, and that's why he died. Now we're meant to believe that Michael Jackson killed himself. He injected himself while the doctor was out of the room. But the doctor is now saying that he didn't know that Michael Jackson was on medication. But as a doctor, you would have to know that. And there's one thing that I just can't. I just don't know why the doctor didn't dial 911 right away. Even the guy said that himself in the video, the ambulance guy. Why didn't Conrad Murray not dial 111 right away? Only Dr. Murray can answer that question. Why didn't he dial 911 right away? Dial 911 right away saves lives. What really happened is that when the 911 got there, Michael Jackson was already dead. He was already dead when the ambulance got there. He was in a deep coma. He was dead already. He was frail. He was gone. He was dead. He was lifeless. He was already gone before the ambulance got there, and there was nothing they could do to save him. But when they got him to the hospital, they tried to resuscitate him with the best of medical equipment. They did felt a heartbeat for over a couple of minutes or something. But even though there was a heartbeat, there could have been a good chance of bringing Michael Jackson back. There could have been a good chance of saving him. But not once did Michael Jackson say to the hospital people that he was on propofol. He should have mentioned propofol. That is guilty right there. He should have mentioned what Michael Jackson was on. Should have let them be the judge of that. He said in his video that shouldn't have to mention propofol. You give him 25 milligrams of. Now 25 milligrams isn't much. Michael Jackson shouldn't have died with 25 milligrams. Michael Jackson died with so many medication and bottles and everything else which was in Michael Jackson's system. How they can't explain that, we'll never know. We'll never know what happened in that room. We'll never know what happened on that day of June 25th, that night when Michael Jackson got home. We'll never know. Between what happened that night, the last night of his life, June 24th, and then coming home that night after 12 or 1, June 25th. Hours later, Michael Jackson's dead. You know? The way I look at it is that Michael Jackson got home. The doctor started giving him medication, tablets, injections, throughout the night. Wouldn't you as a doctor would know that this person could die though, with giving him so many medications and drugs and throughout the night, and then wouldn't as a doctor would know that he would eventually die. You know, a lot of people are saying that it's a miracle that Michael Jackson lasted as long as he did. I believe in that, because given Michael Jackson so many drugs throughout those 3 months, throughout his announcement, way up coming to his This Is It comeback shows. You know what I mean? It's just... Now the only reason why I'm not saying much about the doctor and not giving off and not shouting and not being angry is because the doctor didn't know that Michael Jackson was getting over medication. He didn't know. So what kind of calms me down a bit, because why didn't he not say that in other videos that he's talked to? You know, why didn't he not say it at the time, if he did or not? Why didn't he say that he didn't know Michael Jackson was on medication, and then saying that he knows more than what he does? He knows more than what we do. He knows more. He's not telling anybody. He's keeping it secret. And then the book is absolutely diabolical. It is diabolical. The book is diabolical. I wouldn't even buy the book. This Is It. That Conrad Murray, This Is It, stealing Michael Jackson's title. What the fuck is up with that? You do not do that. You know, ruining the guy's legacy. This Is It, to putting it in his own book of the doctor, and then they're giving him his medical authorities back. Are they nuts? I mean, are they allowed to do that? I mean, the guy was guilty. The guy was found guilty and went to jail. And he done, you know what I mean? It was homicide, even though it was manslaughter, but it was a homicide. Homicide is murder. People will say to me, homicide's not murder. It is murder. Homicide is murder. You know what I mean? How can the doctor sleep at night, you know? It's saying that he has a soft spot for Michael Jackson, saying that he still loves Michael Jackson. You know, that, I don't know, guys, it's just... Now, I'm doing a bit better in talking about in this video than what of the other few videos I've done tonight, you know? But I'm being honest and starting up. I'm getting there. You know what I mean? But it's just June 24th and June 25th. You know, June 24th was the last rehearsal he did. Was Earth Song. You know, I shouldn't even have done any videos. The some of the videos of through early on from June 24th. I was only meant to do one video of June 25th of Michael Jackson's 9 years anniversary, but I've done more, and I'm proud of it, because I wouldn't have done that for Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson deserves more because he gave us more, you know? So and that's my respect for the king of pop, Michael Jackson. You know, guys, the way I look at it, I'm happy that we seen him for the last time before he died. I'm happy we seen him before he died. And I'm sure you guys are all happy that you got to see him in March 2009 and then he died, you know. But he left behind that this is it of his footage of what he was repairing for, that this is it, what he had for his fans, what he had for his children, for his family. We all seen it, and that this is a DVD. We all seen the legend, the musical artist. We all seen the genius. We all seen, for a 50-year-old man, we all seen what, we all seen who he was and what he was, and he was just a genius. There's nothing else I can say. He was just a genius of what he did, you know. And in this picture here, Michael Jackson, where he's just, you know, peace out, and then 3 months later he's dead, you know. It's just, I always thought he looked happy in this picture, to be honest with you guys, and I've always wanted to say this, I always thought he looked good here. When I seen him in the video of March 5th, 2009, I always thought he looked healthy. I always thought he looked strong. I always thought he looked good. His outfit was actually pretty cool. That was a cool outfit he had on there. You know what I mean? I always thought Michael Jackson looked good. He looked ready. He looked excited. He looked happy. He looked that he was just, you know, when we seen Michael Jackson, you know, this is it, and then he just starts giving it off to his fans, you know, and then we just hear the speech, you know, and then at the end he's like, you know, he says to his fans, he loves his fans, and he just said that he wanted his fans to know that Michael Jackson loved his fans. Michael Jackson wanted to say it to his fans, and he did. And then he just said he would see his fans in July, and then he died, you know. And the way I look at it, he died, but he died, and that it was just it was a loss, you know. And then it's not really fair people saying that, you know what, you know, Michael Jackson, we never got what Michael Jackson promised. I mean, come on, we never got what he promised, but at least he left behind the biggest album of all time, which was Thriller, and overall kinds of albums, and the DVD of This Is It, of the footage of him, you know, getting ready before he died, you know. we seen the best that he could be, you know. When Michael Jackson said this is it, was it, you know, this is it, and then he died, you know. Doesn't that tell you something? This is it, and then he died. Michael Jackson was a legend, and we'll remember him here because this was the last time anybody ever saw him in public, anybody ever saw him in England at the O2 Arena. This was in the O2 Arena. This was the last time he was on stage. This was his return, his rebirth on stage, because he hadn't been on stage for years. So this was his return. This was his comeback. He wanted to show his fans that he was here once again, and he could still do this, and he was still here, and he was still the best. And he was the best when everybody saw him, all the lucky ones who saw him for the last time in London, March 2009. All the lucky ones who saw him for the last time of his life. To all the lucky fans who saw Michael Jackson in March 2009 are real fans and real fans of Michael Jackson. Absolutely. The ones who didn't get to see him for the last time, you know, that's a shame. But the ones who got to see him for the last time of 3 months up to his death were the lucky ones. I wish I would have seen, you know. I wish I would have went and seen him in London. Oh, it would have been amazing. But when we all saw Michael Jackson for the last time, This Is It, was it, when we all seen him, he looked good, he looked ready, he looked amazing. He looked amazing to me, you know. And when I can't remember getting this T-shirt done. I mean, I've had this T-shirt. I mean, the proof is at the back, so it must have been 2009. I got this T-shirt. You know what I mean? I mean, I found this T-shirt in my cupboard, and then when I seen it, I was like, "No way!" And then I washed it, and then it came up as good as it could be. I mean, look at it. For freaking 9 years, look at that. The quality is still good. The writing is still good. I fucking love this T-shirt. Fucking love it. It just goes well with my outfit. You know, it just goes well with my black and white, you know, outfit. It just goes well with black and white stuff, black and red and white stuff, you know. It just goes well with, it's just amazing, you know what I mean? Final red, this is the final red curtain, was the final red curtain, you know. The way I look at it, right, if they could do it like when Michael Jackson done it, you know, when we see Michael Jackson in the This Is It DVD, right? We see Michael Jackson in the This Is It DVD, right? And then at the end of it, he comes out to his fans. You know, we all seen him in the This Is It doing everything for his fans, and then he comes out to the stage. You know, I could just do it that way or look at it that way, but a lot of people will not look at it that way. That's stupid, but it doesn't matter, guys. You know, a lot of people say that looking back at Michael Jackson here was odd, because looking at Michael Jackson back in March 2009 was odd, because he did say he would see his fans in July, but we never did. But he died. But later on, when the This Is It DVD came out, we seen him anyway. We seen Michael Jackson doing what he did best, getting ready for the tour. We seen the musical legend, the genius in what he was and what he did for a 50-year-old man. He left behind so what we could see, what he could do and what he could sing or rehearse. We seen it, you know. We seen it, guys, you know. I'm happy with that, and I'm happy with his last return on stage. We were even lucky that we got to see Michael Jackson on stage for the last time. You know? We couldn't have seen or got the return of Michael Jackson on stage for the last time, but we did, and he was amazing at his speech, at his dance. He was a genius of what he said, what he did, what he had planned for the This Is It. And the way I look at it, this was the comeback. The This Is It in the DVD was the tour, because we watched Michael Jackson, what he did and what he did best and what he had planned. The way I look at it, the DVD tour, the DVD This Is It was the tour, because we're watching him at what he did best, and that's the way I look at it, and that's the way I'll remember Michael Jackson, and that's the way I'll always, you know. We didn't get the tour to see him actually, but we got to see him here for the last time anyway, and we seen him in the DVD This Is It. We seen him at his best at what he did, and the DVD, to me, in my opinion, the DVD, in my opinion, was the tour, watching Michael Jackson, what he did best. A lot of people might not agree with that. That's stupid, because the DVD was him getting ready, but doesn't really matter. We seen what he had planned. We seen what he had ready. We seen everything that he was getting ready for his fans. He was excited. He didn't want to die. He didn't know he was going to die. You know? Watch the This Is It DVD, for goodness sake. I mean, he even says to Rennie Phillips, I can do this, I'm ready, and I can take care of it from here. You know? If the one person you want to blame that we didn't see Michael Jackson on stage for real, blame the fucking doctor. But you know what? I'm happy that we seen Michael Jackson for the final time in London, March 2009, and right up before he died. And like I said, in the DVD was the tour. Because in the DVD we see him here announcing the comeback, and then after that we see Michael Jackson what he did best. In the DVD, the tour, as I said. And that's the way I remember Michael Jackson, the legend. And this is not an imposter. This is Michael Jackson. There's no way I could be an imposter. It's Michael Jackson, for fuck's sake. Only Michael Jackson could dance like that and could pull off the piece and all that there. And a lot of people say that his voice wasn't the same and what he was doing was strange. The way he was talking and the way he was just excited, guys. For fuck's sake, I would be excited if I hadn't seen my fans. If I was a superstar in so many years, wouldn't you be? Come on. So this is what really happened to Michael Jackson. This is another video, and I've actually talked good in this video. I've done the best I could in this video, you know, because I know I done better in this video because this video is a bit longer, and I will continue to go on. I'm not stopping because I want it to be better than the other couple of videos I've done. And like I've said, I've repeated this so many times and I'll keep repeating it. Michael Jackson came back on stage on March 5th, 2009. He was ready, he was excited, he looked healthy to me, he looked focused, and he looked that he could do these 50 nights. I just have this feeling that he could have done it. But 3 months later, when he was rehearsing, he died. After he died, that This Is It came out in the movie house. And when I was watching it, it was just like watching him on stage, you know? And I was happy with that. Because on the This Is It, you see him here, and then you see him later on doing what he did best and what he had planned, you know? And I'm right, because that's what you see in the This Is It DVD. You see Michael Jackson coming back on stage and then rehearsing throughout those 3 months. And then he died, you know? But he left behind a legacy of his last comeback, which was on stage, March 5th, 2009. And then doing what he did best for a 50-year-old man. You see, guys, there were on YouTube on June 23rd, you see Michael Jackson doing They Don't Care About Us. They say that was the last rehearsal of Michael Jackson, but June 24th, Earth Song, was that not the last rehearsal or last song? I know between those two nights, June 23rd, June 24th, you know, but June 23rd, I think, because and They Don't Care About Us, all the dancers are in it and Michael Jackson's in it, and it's you know, a live rehearsal video of Michael Jackson's dancers and him. And Michael Jackson looked good as ever. He looked strong. He looked good. He was back, and he looked that he was ready. And then the next night, Michael Jackson's back on stage once again for the last time, doing Earth Song and Thriller. The Thriller was badass. The end of it was badass. It was amazing, you know, where Michael Jackson's on top of the stage and some guys with him. Like, I don't know why that guy was there with him. I think the guy was there just to watch MJ because we all were meant to believe that MJ was sick, he wasn't well, and he was cold, and he was frail and skinny, which he was skinny, that's true. And that's why he was wearing like tracksuits and so many clothes, because the guy was cold because he lost so much weight and all that there. But I mean, the last, you know, when he was in Staples Center that night of June 24th, Michael Jackson done Earth Song and Thriller, and God knows what songs he did. And then that was it. And then the next day he died, you know. It's just, or it could be it, or I could think of it this way, guys. His announcement, he's back. The DVD, this is it. And then he died. The end. Was this is it. This is it. Was it. You can look at it that way. Let the guy rest in peace. What more do you want from the guy? At least the guy came back. At least he pulled it off. At least he was able to come back and pull it off and came back on stage good once again. And he did. If he didn't, I wouldn't be wearing no t-shirt to this day of Michael Jackson, This Is It, of March 2009, has come back. I wouldn't be wearing this t-shirt. I wouldn't, because he wouldn't have done it. You know? But he did. I mean, what more would you want from a musical artist? A genius, a legend, at everything he did. You know? So, what really happened to Michael Jackson? We don't know. We'll never know. The last days of Michael Jackson, we'll never know what happened, or the last days of his life. You know? But the way I look at it, guys, the way I can put an end to let Michael Jackson rest in peace, and because he did the best that he could do, and what he could be, and what he did the best for his fans, and all that there, and what else, you know what I mean, guys. In my onion, my Michael Jackson, I will remember him, his legacy, his music, his genius. He's a legend, and I will always remember him from his last biggest tour in history back in March 2009, his return on stage. I'll always remember that, and I'm sure everybody else will, and all the fans who got to see him for the last time on stage, way up until he died. We're the lucky ones. And for me, I'll always remember him of watching him here, his comeback, and watching him throughout his This Is It DVD, way up until he died. The end. This is it. Was it? We never got the tour. So what? So what? We never got what Michael Jackson promised. That's not fair. I'm sure Michael Jackson was looking forward to doing this fucking 50 nights, you know? But for God's sake, I'm sure Michael Jackson didn't want to die. I'm sure Michael Jackson didn't know he was dead when he was in that deep coma. I'm sure that must have been, you know? Sure that must have been a fucking terrible death, and I'm sure it must have been a nightmare for Michael Jackson, you know? I'm sure now to this day that Michael Jackson doesn't even know that he's asleep. The way I look at death, that once you're dead and once you're asleep, this is the way I look at it. Once you're dead, once you're asleep, you don't know you're dead. You just it's nothing. It's just being asleep forever. It's a horrible feeling. It's a terrible way to die. And you know, my dad, he wasn't scared of death, but me, I'm scared of death. Absolutely, because you don't know what's going to be at the end of the tunnel. You know, is there heaven? We'll never know until we die. But it's a terrible feeling. You know, it's a terrible feeling to think about and to even dream about, and even to live on. But the way I look at it, you're young, you live once, you enjoy life, you don't think about that until you're old, until you're in your 40s or your 50s. But yeah, you know, I'm only in my 20s. I'm 24, coming 25 in 2019, and there's not a day I think about that when I was in my teens. You know, it's just life just goes like that, you know. And you guys, like, let the guy rest in peace. Michael Jackson is not here. And then I know that I've done videos saying Michael Jackson could be alive or dead. A lot of people would say to me that, why do you not believe? Might say to me now, I don't know, but I'll explain this now. A lot of people will say to me, like, why do I not believe that he's alive? Guys, look. I believe 50-50. I believe that Michael Jackson faked his death. I believe that he could have faked his death for one reason. One reason was to get out of his debt, because he was in debt. Second reason, I know I only said one reason, but I'll have a second reason. He could have faked his death to get away from the press. I have a third reason. Third reason, he could have faked his death to live in a private life with his children, to get away from the media, from the press, and from whatever Michael Jackson was under pressure. That's my 3 reasons. If you guys have any more, let me know in the comments. But the other 50, I think Michael Jackson is dead. I think he's dead because why would he do it? Why would he do that? He wouldn't. I don't think he would have done that on his children if he really did die. I mean, come on, guys. I know there's proof and evidence, and I know I've done videos and all that he could be alive. Yes, there is videos and proof that he could be alive, but that maybe Michael Jackson maybe tried to show his fans that he was alive, but not showing his face, but showing other different things for fans to notice. So other fans could know that Michael Jackson could be saying, "I'm still alive, but you know what I mean, but I'm dead, but I'm still here, but I'm not showing my complete face." Because in that video where you see in the Cardinals fan, you see some guy running up to the thing. You see Michael Jackson hopping into the fan with some other guy with a thing over his head. Is that Michael Jackson? We'll never know. And the other video in the helicopter before he got transferred, you see the body bag sitting up and all that there, which is more proof and other shitload of videos. There is a shit and ton of loads of other videos from other YouTubers and subscribers and people, fans, and